Thank you. We may be seated, Your Excellencies. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, a very good morning to you all. My name is Barbara Lopi from the Southern African Development Community Secretariat. I'm humbled this morning to be directing the opening ceremony of this meeting. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, allow me at this point to just introduce the excellencies who are participating in this meeting or their representatives. We are here for the joint summit of heads of states and government of the East African Community and the Southern African Development Community. Allow me to then, before I proceed in introducing their excellencies, I just want to provide information on the language channels for the equipment that is being used for us to communicate and listen to their discussions. The English language is on channel 1 of the gadgets that we have. French language is on channel 2, and Portuguese is on channel 3, and Kiswahili is on channel 4. I'll go straight into introduction of their excellencies or representatives that are participating in this meeting. I'll begin with our host, our gracious host this morning, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Shall we please put our hands together for Her Excellency? Thank you. Up here we have His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Chairperson of the East African Community. Up here, we also have His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Chairperson of Sadc, Southern African Development Community. We do have participating online His Excellency FELIX Antoine TSHISEKEDI Chilombo, President of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia. His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda. His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia. In our midst, we also have His Excellency, the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Mohammed. We have His Excellency General Gervais Ndirakubusha, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Burundi, representing His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi. We have His Excellency Ambassador Tete Antonio, Minister of External Relations, Republic of Angola, representing the President, His Excellency João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço, President of Republic of Angola. We have Honorable Deng Alo Kuo, Minister of East African Community Affairs of the Republic of Sudan, representing His Excellency Salva Mayarditi, President of the Republic of Sudan. We have Honorable Nancy Gladys Tembo, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Malawi, representing His Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi. We have the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of South Africa, Honorable Mula, representing His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa. We have Honorable Lieutenant General Lala Monja Delphine Sahivelo, Minister of the Armed Forces in the Republic of Madagascar, representing His Excellency Andry Rajoelina, President of the Republic of Madagascar. Those were their excellencies, and up here we have the Honorable Professor Amon Muwira, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and Chairperson of the Sadc Council of Ministers. Up here we also have His Excellency the Right Honorable Dr. Musahila Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet and Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Republic of Kenya, and Head of the East African Community Delegation of Ministerial Session. I would like to recognize all the honorable ministers and the deputies in the room. And up here, I would like to recognize the Secretary General of the East African Community, Her Excellency, my apologies. Let me start by recognizing His Excellency Mr. Elias Mahosi, the Executive Secretary of Sadc, and Her Excellency Madame Veronica Nduva, CBS Secretary General of the East African Community. Apologies, my sister, I forgot your name, but I have it. Senior officials from all Sadc member states represented here, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. Our program will be as follows. We are going to have welcome remarks from our host president, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania. This will be followed by the statements from the chairpersons from the East African Community and the Southern African Development Community. I will present their name after Her Excellency gives us the welcome remarks. Your Excellency, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Chairperson of SADC. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Chairperson of East African Community. Fellow heads of state and government from EAC and SADC partner state and member states, honorable ministers, Honorable Veronica Nduva, Secretary General of East African Community, Your Excellency Mr. Elias Mpedi Magosi, the SADC Executive Secretary, distinguished delegates, good morning. It gives me a great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the United Republic of Tanzania, and more specifically to the city of Dar es Salaam, the haven of peace, for this crucial joint EAC-SADC summit convened to deliberate on the prevailing security situation in the Eastern DRC. Tanzania is profoundly honored to host this high-level meeting and remains eternally committed to the objective of promoting peace and security within the region and beyond. Similarly, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Executive Secretary of East African Community and SADC and their entire teams for effectively coordinating this meeting within a short time. Excellencies, as we are all aware, DRC, a member of both the EAC and SADC, is still facing prolonged conflicts whose impact has transcended its borders and so creating far-reaching effects in neighboring countries. For the last couple of weeks, we have witnessed the spread of violence that has caused massive harm to human life, human displacement, and insecurity, which affected economic activities and disrupted cross-border trades. As regional leaders, history will judge us harshly if we remain still and watch the situation worsen day by day. And in line with the principle of African solutions for Africa's problems, our countries have a collective responsibility to ensure we urgently address the existing security challenges that have heavily impacted the well-being of innocent civilians. This joint summit meeting presents an opportunity to recommit our collective efforts in addressing the conflicts and reaffirm our sustainable peace and stability in the entire EAC and SADC regions. It is crucial that we find a durable solution that upholds sovereignty, promotes inclusivity, and ensures that the people of DRC can enjoy durable peace and security that they have been yearned for decades. Excellencies, as a steadfast advocate for peace in Africa, Tanzania is deeply concerned about the persistent insecurity in Eastern DRC. The ongoing conflict not only destabilizes our brotherly nation, but also put serious dents on our consistent efforts to enhance regional integration. My country remains committed to supporting ongoing diplomatic initiatives to end conflicts in Eastern DRC, and so we call on all parties involved in the DRC conflict to positively engage in negotiations, prioritize the well-being of its people, and commit to peaceful coexistence. Excellencies, our gathering here in Dar es Salaam should be an opportunity for us to have serious reflections and engage constructively on what needs to be done to assist our fellow member states in addressing security challenges. Despite the woven complexity of the matter we are dealing with, we should be confident that this meeting will come up with concrete proposals and measures to urgently address the existing challenges so as to avoid an impending humanitarian catastrophe. As active members of the EAC and SADC, we have to remain resolute in our quest to see peaceful and stable regional blocs, with our countries standing tall and harmoniously coexisting. It is therefore my humble request to you, my colleagues, let us be united in our efforts to end violence, foster stability, and create an environment where peace, security, and development can thrive. With these few remarks, I once again extend my warmest welcome to all of you and wish you productive deliberation. Asante sana, thank you very much.
Mes remerciements
Merci
chaleureux
beaucoup, Henri Brigade.
à vous tous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency,
Merci, Excellence,
President of the United Republic of Tanzania.
Président de la République
I would
unie de
like to
Tanzanie.
make an apology to the Republic of South Sudan. I think in my
J'ai eu des excuses
presentation
de la
I
République,
slipped off
du
and
Soudan.
omitted the South. Honorable Dan Aloy-Kwo,
En fait, le
Minister
président n'est pas
of
venu,
East
il est
African
représenté.
Community Affairs. He's from Republic of South Sudan. Thank you.
Je rappelle que le Soudan
next,
se trouve parmi
presentation
les pays qui nous
will be
attaquent, qui aident le
remarks
Rwanda.
from the co-chairpersons of this joint summit of East African Community and Southern African Development Community Summit. The co-chairpersons will be His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto,
Le Sud-Soudan,
CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Chairperson of East African Community. And the co-chair is His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Chairperson of SADC. So we're going to start with remarks from His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto, CGH,
Nous allons
President of
commencer
the
par
Republic of Kenya
les remarques
and Chairperson
du
of
président
the East African Community.
Ruto, qui est le président de l'EAC.
Deliver their remarks from that podium. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup.
Your Excellency
Samuel
and Co-Chair Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, Chairperson of SADC and President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government of the East African Community and SADC member states,
Au président
Ministers
Mnangagwa, le
responsible
président
for
de
foreign
la SADC,
affairs and external relations of EAC and
et aux
SADC,
autres.
Secretary Generals of SADC and EAC, distinguished delegates, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, I will take
Mesdames et
this
messieurs,
very early opportunity to sincerely thank my dear sister, Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania,
je remercie
for hosting
son
this joint
Excellence
summit.
Samia,
After
la
extensive
présidente de la
consultations,
Tanzanie,
when I
nous avons
requested
été
her
accueillis.
to host this summit, without hesitation, she offered these excellent
Sans
facilities for
hésitation,
us
elle a offert
to engage in this
cet
exercise.
accueil.
My dear sister, thank you very much. We're truly grateful.
Ma chère sœur, merci beaucoup.
Equally important, I appreciate the efforts made by the two regions through their
Je
respective
remercie
communities
également les
to
efforts
mobilize
faits
with
par les
urgency
deux
and
régions, les
convene
deux blocs, et ASSISTE
separate extraordinary summits in order to deliberate on the
C'est un
concerning
sommet
security situation
extraordinaire
in the
qui doit
Democratic
délibérer
Republic
sur
of Congo.
la situation
Excellencies.
délicate en République démocratique du Congo.
Together,
Ensemble,
we find ourselves standing face to face
nous sommes
with
là
a grave
face à face
and protracted security, diplomatic, and humanitarian crisis in DRC, a
recherchant la
situation
sécurité
that demands our immediate,
diplomatiquement.
collective, and sustained attention. The East
l'Est,
region of DRC has been engulfed
la
in a
région
devastating conflict for
Est
over 2 decades now.
de la
And this
RDC a
tragedy,
vécu
has claimed thousands of lives,
déstabilisation
displaced countless civilians,
importante.
inflicted unbearable suffering and loss, and set back the development
a souffert beaucoup de
momentum
pertes,
of one
beaucoup de
of the
souffrances.
most promising countries in the world.
C'est un
The recent
pays,
escalation of
promettant.
hostilities in Goma
Le
and the surrounding areas is a stark reminder of the increasing fragility the situation presents, and that only collective action to facilitate a negotiated solution will offer relief. Today, we join together in order to reiterate our calls to the parties to this tragic conflict to immediately cease hostilities and take positive action to allow meaningful dialogue aimed at restoration of stability. Specifically, we stand together to call on all parties to actualize the ceasefire, and specifically on the M23 to hold further advancement and the armed forces of DRC to cease all retaliatory measures. An immediate ceasefire is the only way by which we can create necessary conditions for constructive dialogue and implementation of a comprehensive peace agreement. As members of the African Union and United Nations, we stand bound by fundamental principles of respect for the territorial integrity and sovereignty of nations and the principle of good neighborliness. These twin principles are the surest
Mais vous le savez, vous envoyez des militaires kenyans et de le Rwanda. C'est bête, vous êtes hypocrite avec ce que vous dites.
As responsible members of the international community are bound by the obligation to ensure the safety of diplomatic assets, civilians, and personnel, as well as peacekeepers within our countries. The wanton disregard for the sanctity of life, diplomatic missions, and peacekeeping, and peacekeepers as well, is not only a brazen demonstration of lawless and unprincipled pursuit of violent harm and destruction, it is a grave affront to the rules-based international order.
Les gardiens de la paix, voilà.
Nous
devons les respecter,
our
pas les
presence
tuer,
here
pas les attaquer.
underscores our consensus that the time for action is now.
Le temps pour
The
l'action,
lives
c'est
of
maintenant.
millions depends on our ability to navigate this complex and challenging situation with wisdom, clarity of mind, empathy for the millions whose lives and livelihoods have been plunged into uncertainty, concerns for DRC's lost opportunity to accelerate its growth and development, and a steadfast commitment to peace and justice.
Engagement à la paix et à la justice
A
pour
terrible yet
le développement.
indisputable act is that the humanitarian cost of the conflict in the DRC has been staggering. Millions of civilians have been displaced and many lives under the persistent threat of violence, including sexual and gender-based violence against women and children, and the recruitment of children to take part in combat. We have a historic opportunity to rise to our moral duty of making the protection of civilians our foremost priority, and of taking measures to ensure that the necessary resources and support are provided. For many well-known reasons, the situation in DRC implicates the broader global community. Therefore, we call upon the international community to step up and do its part in supporting regional efforts in delivering for the DRC, and critically collaborating with the government of the DRC to deliver support and security to those most in need. It is clear that the conflict in DRC is complex, delicate, protracted, and involves multiple actors pursuing different interests. The issues at stake span a wide historical, economic, and political spectrum, run back in time for many decades, and spill across national and regional borders. There is also a clandestine international dimension at work, whose persistent, cynical, and destructive effects must neither be underestimated or ignored any longer. For this reason, it is equally clear that such a conflict cannot be resolved through military means. We must resist the temptation to think that we can somehow shoot or bombard our way into a solution in the face of such a complex situation. Instead, we have to agree that only a comprehensive diplomatic approach, one that addresses the root causes of the crisis, secures the historical integrity and territorial integrity of DRC, and affirms the sovereignty of its people and their aspirations for freedom, justice, and development. That is what will establish peace and enduring peace at that in DRC. Such an approach must also bring together multiple stakeholders, regional states, international bodies, political organizations, civil society groups, and the Congolese government itself to dialogue and collaborate in order to explore, develop, and implement a lasting solution. Excellencies, I am confident that you agree with me that dialogue is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to our collective wisdom and strength, both as leaders and as communities. It shows our capacity to articulate issues patiently and clearly, listen to each other, consult comprehensively with a common goal in mind, and negotiate patiently until we reach a better outcome than the bitter results of bloodshed. It is in this spirit that we must encourage all parties to put aside their differences and mobilize for engagement in constructive dialogue aimed at achieving the sustainable solution of conflict by peacefully addressing all underlying issues. I believe that we have a singular opportunity to build on the gains and lessons of Rwanda and Nairobi peace processes. We have a historic opportunity as the broader neighborhood of the DRC to mobilize our collective will into a fused, single, and coherent initiative towards the resolution of this complex crisis. Such an approach will bring all our assets to bear and minimize the possibility of parallel initiatives that duplicate and undermine progress, including creating unnecessary competition as we strive for peace. My dear brothers and sisters, this calls for our unwavering political support. I therefore urge Your Excellencies at this extraordinary joint summit to deploy our best effort and master our total commitment to facilitate a sustainable settlement that lays the foundation for a stable and prosperous democratic Republic of Congo. I dare say, Excellencies, the situation may be complex, it may be protracted, it may have been with us for years, but I believe the situation in the DRC can be solved, should be solved, and must be solved. For this reason, it may also be prudent for the consolidated single EAC Sadc initiative on this matter to be supported by a strong secretariat that can provide the necessary coordination, monitoring, and enforcement to ensure effective implementation of outcomes. The international community must stand in solidarity with the people of DRC during this
La
time
position, il a déjà annoncé. Donc,
by aligning their
solution
support
diplomatique
with this
et politique
initiative.
et non pas militaire. C'est ça
I
sa
conclude,
position.
Excellencies, by affirming our robust commitment to achieving sustainable peace and
Je
development
conclus par
and integration across the region. The security of DRC is essential not only for the stability of the country, but also to the prosperity and cohesion of the entire EAC and SADC. We call upon all parties to prioritize dialogue, cooperation, and above all,
prioriser le dialogue,
the protection of civilian lives.
la protection des
I
civils.
thank you once again for
Je
being
vous
able
remercie
to be here
aussi
on this very
pour avoir
important
été capable
mission.
d'arriver ici.
It is a historic mission
C'est
because
une
for the first time,
mission
two regional
historique
economic
depuis
blocs
le
come
passé.
together as a testament of the seriousness of the challenges
Nous arrivions
faced,
ici ensemble.
but also underscoring our commitment to provide leadership to resolve this
Notre
issue.
engagement pour
Thank you very much.
fournir
May the
le
Almighty God
leadership.
bless all of you
Merci beaucoup à vous tous.
and bless our region. Asanteni
Que
sana. Merci
bénisse
beaucoup.
notre région.
Mayor Brigato. Thank you very much.
Voilà, merci.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency,
Merci, Son Excellence.
Dr. William Samuel
Dr.
Ruto,
William Ruto,
CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya
président de la République du
and
Kenya
Chairperson of the East
et
African
président de la
Community.
communauté
We're now going to have another statement
États
from His Excellency
d'Afrique de
Dr.
l'Est.
Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of
Maintenant, j'appelle le
Zimbabwe,
président du
who
Zimbabwe,
is co-chair to this
Emerson
meeting,
Mnangagwa,
and Chairperson of the Southern African Development
et
Community.
président de
Your
la
Excellency,
Sadc.
you may proceed to
Aussi.
deliver your remarks. Thank you.
Venez s'il vous plaît donner vos remarques, faire vos remarques. Vous exprimer, il va s'exprimer.
Your Excellency, Mr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Chairperson of the East African Community and co-chair of this summit. Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania and Chairperson of the Organ
La
on
présidence
Politics,
de la
Defense
Tanzanie,
and Security
Samia.
Cooperation. Your Excellencies, heads of
Excellence,
state and government from our regional bodies, honorable ministers who are here,
honorable
the
ministre
SADC Executive Secretary,
de la
His
SADC qui
Excellency
sont ici.
Elias Magosi, the EAC Secretary General, His Excellency Mrs. Veronica Ndua,
il remercie
comrades
le
and friends.
secrétariat de l'EAC.
It is my distinct honor and privilege
C'est mon
to
honneur
make these
distingué
remarks
de faire ces remarques.
of welcome to this historic gathering. Firstly,
Ces rassemblements historiques.
may I express heartfelt gratitude to you, my dear sister and colleague,
Je reconnais
Your
ma
Excellency,
gratitude à tous les
President Dr.
collègues,
Samia Hassan, along with the government and people of the United Republic of Tanzania, for the warm welcome and gracious
Samia, la présidente de
hospitality
la Tanzanie,
extended to my delegation since our arrival in this beautiful city of Dar es Salaam.
depuis notre arrivée dans cette
In the
belle
same
ville de
spirit,
Dar es Salaam.
I also extend sincere appreciation to my dear brother, Your Excellency, President William Ruto, for your astute leadership for the East African community and for agreeing to meet at short
Mon
notice.
frère Ruto,
Equally,
Yam pour
our respective secretaries
sa direction de la communauté des États de
senior
l'Afrique de
officials
l'Est.
and Council of Ministers are commended for their diligent work in preparation for this joint summit. Your efforts have laid a solid foundation for our discussions today.
Vos efforts
Allow me,
ont conduit
on behalf of Sadc,
au fondement de nos
the
discussions aujourd'hui.
government of the Republic of
Donc,
Zimbabwe, and
Sadc,
indeed on my own behalf,
il est en train de
to
remercier
once
le
again
président de
convey
l'EAC pour
heartfelt
ses efforts pour
condolences
être
and
arrivé
deepest sympathies
à ces
to the
discussions.
member states and families of the brave peacekeepers who lost their lives in the service of the people
Ses
of
condoléances
DRC,
aux familles
and indeed
des gardiens de la
because
paix qui ont
of
perdu
peace.
leur vie, c'est-à-dire les casques bleus. Ses condoléances à ces
We
familles-là.
also recognize the loss of civilian lives
Nous
and
reconnaissons
livelihoods
aussi la perte des
that
vies
has
civiles
resulted from the increased insecurity and insurgency in Eastern DRC.
résultant de
Our
l'accroissement de
prayers
l'insécurité dans
continue
cette
to be
région.
made for the affected families and the
Condoléances
communities.
aux familles affectées,
Your Excellencies, this
familles
historic summit of our two regional blocs is testament to our shared commitment.
Donc,
To
la
the
rencontre
founding
des deux
values
blocs,
of the
c'est
African
un
Union.
testament historique. La
Such
rencontre
joint
de la Sadc
initiatives
et l'EAC
must
devrait
see
être un
us
testament
scale up
historique.
bold and decisive actions to silence the guns on our continent. But
Il
most
évoque le silence des
immediately
armes
implement lasting solutions to the escalating conflict
pour
and humanitarian
implémenter
crisis
une
in the
solution
Eastern DRC.
durable.
Undoubtedly, ongoing instability, growing hostilities, and the ever-increasing number of internally displaced persons in the Eastern DRC
Ah oui,
has far-reaching
il faut que
consequences,
ça termine. Hein. Donc le
not only
déplacement
for the people of DRC alone,
des
but
peuples.
also for
Des
our
déplacés.
regions and the African continent as a whole. The unity, solidarity, and
L'unité,
unbreakable
la
bonds of the
solidarité.
peoples of the continent must stand
peuples.
the test of such trying times as we face. We must remain as solidly united
Nous devons demeurer
as
unis
we were
solidement
during the struggle for complete emancipation and independence of Africa from colonialism.
Oui, pour demeurer
We must have a
indépendants
duty and a collective
dans une Afrique
responsibility
indépendante
to
et
comprehensively,
souveraine.
frankly, tackle and address the various challenges that are impending the realization of peace and security for
Paix
the people
et
of
sécurité
Eastern DRC.
pour les peuples de
Drawing from our rich
de l'Est
African
de la
values and
RDC.
heritage, and further emboldened by the spirit and letter of the United Nations Charter, the constitutive act of the African Union, as well as the treaties of both Sadc and the EAC, let us seize this opportunity to ensure convergence and a coordinated response which is mutually reinforcing towards one common objective. I thus challenge all of us
Comme
to
membre de l'Union
approach the
africaine,
agenda
des
before
Nations
us
Unies, de la
with
Sadc, de
openness,
l'EAC, nous devons
honesty,
fournir des efforts
flexibility
pour
and commitment
arriver
to building
à
a lasting
une
peace for Mother Africa.
convergence de nos objectifs.
The
La paix, bien
all-encompassing
sûr.
interests of the people of the DRC must be at the core of our deliberations. Let us do much more to realize sustainable peace in our sister
Déployons
republic
des
of the
efforts
DRC,
pour
in
trouver
our
une
lifetime.
solution de paix
To date,
dans notre région.
SADC notes and acknowledges the progress made under the Rwanda and Nairobi processes,
SADC
aimed
reconnaît
at
les efforts
silencing the guns,
du processus de Luanda
as well
et le
as
processus de
facilitating
Nairobi.
dialogue among all parties to the conflict. This summit, therefore,
Ouais.
should
Il
lead
demande
us
un
forward
dialogue
towards
de
a
toutes les
concrete
parties.
roadmap to help resolve the ongoing crisis.
Ouais, pour résoudre
As the leaders
ce
entrusted
conflit
to
en
nurture
cours.
and facilitate unity, peace and
Ça
development
aidera à faciliter
in this era,
l'unité, la paix.
we
dans
cannot let
cette
the
zone.
peoples of our regions down. Their hope is in us here. The SADC bloc remains unwavering and committed to continue playing its part.
La SADC
With these remarks,
s'engage
I wish the summit fruitful
continuer à jouer
deliberations.
son rôle.
And thank you. Asante sana.
Je vous
Tatema.
remercie.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Emerson
Vous
Dambuzo
avez entendu
Mnangagwa, President
le
of
processus
the
de
Republic of
Nairobi, le
Zimbabwe and
processus de
Chairperson
Luanda.
of the Southern
Il
African
parle aussi
Development
de
Community.
dialogue. Oh là là, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Bon, c'est un replay de la chaîne Kenya News Channel. Donc, c'était un extrait. Eh bien, nous allons nous arrêter nous aussi par là, chers compatriotes. Ce replay, c'était pour ceux qui n'ont pas pu regarder en direct ce qui s'est passé ce matin. Mais il reste la délibération de toutes les parties qui sont venues à ce sommet. Nous attendons jusque-là la délibération. La SADC. Que Dieu bénisse la République démocratique du Congo. Eh oui. C'est terminé. Je ne suis pas là, loin d'arrêter dans une minute. Parce que ce n'est pas évident d'arrêter tout de suite.
Walking in, and I will request that we
Voilà,
remain
ça y
standing.
est, presque.